for all personnel in the Armed Forces of the Philippines, or AFP. It is a day of reflection for every soldier, airman, sailor, and marine on how our forebears and Filipino defenders of Bataan and Corregidor demonstrated to the world its brand of extraordinary heroism, ardent patriotism, uncommon valor, and selfless sacrifice. With their blood, sweat, and tears, our veterans bequeathed to our generation the air of freedom we breathe, the atmosphere of peace we live, and democracy we enjoy. The date also commemorates the Bataan Death March, where exhausted Filipino and American prisoners of war, or POW, were forced by their Japanese captors to march from Bataan to San Fernando. This local terrorist group feed and fest of the exploitation they do with the innocent of the indigenous peoples, of helpless and trusting civilians, of unwitting students, and even foreign funding agencies they cheated with their lives. In Jose Rizal's film 1998, Jose Rizal was portrayed by Cesar Montano, who executed the acts and lines very well with a charm that touches my heart. He even clearly delivers his lines, especially Spanish languages, fluently. In the beginning of the film, it was shown there a scenario about Spanish friars and the brutality of the Spaniards against the Filipinos. Even the execution of Father Burgos, one of the 3 priests who was executed by the Spaniards. The film tackles about the truth about the government during colonizations of Spaniards in the Philippines, all grievances and frustrations as the speaker stated in the movie. Also a scenario of Pasiano, beaten up by the Spaniards, a brother who will always do anything just to protect his family. He was the one who motivated Rizal to do better in school for the sake of his future. In 1986, when Rizal was arrested in Fort Santiago, he was accused in 3 cases, which are the rebellion, sedition, and illegal association. He began to foretold his story and the things he knew about Spaniards to oppress their servant and Tavil. As Jose Rizal began his story with his family, you will see the Filipino values such as po at opo and man. Her mother Theodora taught him about praying and reading. On 1872, he was sent to study in Ateneo Municipal, wherein he studies about the language of Spaniards. Later on, he was sent to abroad to expand more his knowledge in order to succeed in the future. Upon us, his brother told him about the Spaniards and his family experiences during Spanish regime, he decided to fight those people through his writings. Crisostomo Ibarra and Simon was portrayed by Joel Torre in the film, wherein they gave some excerpts from the Nole and El Feli scenes. Tavil found out that Rizal was innocent, but the friars, or the main target of his book, wanted to end Rizal's life. Rizal influenced and inspired the natives to revolt by revealing his thoughts, his aspiration, and his suggestion through Ibarra. Andres Bonifacio was a fan of Jose Rizal. They both want to escape from the Spaniard, but in two different ways. Jose Rizal might not be in the actual bloody battlefield for freedom from Spanish rule, but his writings were sources of inspirations for revolutionaries, especially led by Andres Bonifacio. They have this line called "Long live Philippines" or "Mabuhay Pilipinas." He chose to make Simon more radical in his way in toppling the oppressive forces. From Crisostomo, who only wants reformation, Rizal transformed him into Simon, who dangerously seeking for independence from the Spaniards. There's a lot of learning in this film. One of that is the young Pepe can be an inspiration to this generation that values family and education. His love for the country will forever be treasured, not just in the history of the Philippines, but in the hearts of every Filipinos. The life of Rizal is an inspiration for everyone. The things that happen from the past is a lesson for us to be smart enough so that others will not abuse us again. The movie was heartwarming and I was inspired by the details of facts that I saw in the film. I will surely recommend this to others because no mundane moments to feel upon watching it. Also, it is very important for us to know what really is patriotism and nationalism is. Rizal is the same as you, because you can be too, since we have the same blood that flows in us. We have one purpose like Jose Rizal, who wanted to live freedom and peace. The courage and dignity, we too wanted this, and we need to go beyond what the yesterday have done. The movie said, we could have mistaken because no one in this world is perfect, but what matters most is how we leave the earth.
Sumatumest!